If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Village Board of Village of Washingtonville regular meeting today, Tuesday, July 21st. The agenda has been posted online. A couple of announcements. We're excited that the Sensory Garden project has begun. The Sensory Garden will be located next to the existing playground at Fireman's Memorial. Hunter Reed from Troop 416 will be completing his Eagle Scout project and creating the Sensory Garden for our Inclusive Playground project. Actually, the Lions Club, Inclusive Playground Club. We are honored that he chose the Village of Washingtonville. He has done his research and designed a truly amazing sensory garden that encompasses all 5 senses. For more information, please log on to the Greater Washingtonville Lions Club. This past week, Alan Markoff, president of New York Security, made a camera donation to the Village of Washingtonville for our Fireman's Memorial. Assemblyman Colin Schmidt was very instrumental in obtaining this donation. Deputy Mayor Lang has more information on this later on in the meeting. Our Village Hall remains closed to the public without an appointment. We are hoping to have the building open the week of August 3rd. We are in the process of moving the building department to the 2nd floor, allowing more space between Village Hall employees on the 1st floor. Hudson Valley Hawks, a 10 and under baseball team, will begin their home season this Friday, July 24th at 6 p.m. at Woodfield. All proper paperwork that was not submitted at the last meeting has since been submitted. That's it on the announcements. Any questions?
No.
Okay. We could start on new business. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Planning Board member Michelle Dillon. Michelle Dillon showed interest. Her resume was submitted several months ago. She would be member number 5, I believe, on our planning board. I have a second.
I'll second.
I have a second. Who seconded that?
I think Paul and I tied.
Okay. Okay, roll call. Trustee Kalor.
Yes.
Trustee Lodato. Trustee Lodato.
Yes.
Trustee Sampson. Deputy Mayor Lang. Mayor Bucko. Okay, so that's 3A. She will be sworn in prior to the planning board meeting, which I believe is this Thursday. Resolution of the appointment of planning/zoning board secretary Donna Foley, who currently is employed by the Village of Washingtonville at Village Hall. Questions, comments?
No.
Make a motion.
Isn't she already doing it? For the most part?
She did do it, but she has to be reassigned to it. So I need a second on the motion.
Second.
Okay. Roll call. Trustee Kalor.
Yes.
Trustee Lodato. Trustee Sampson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang.
Yes.
Mayor Bucko. Okay, 3C. Talking with JCO, they like to recommend that the village go on a voluntary water restriction, at least until another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, until the memorial well Part 5 test is completed by the Board of Health. So it is, I'll read what they've given me. Our water department has advised that they are having difficulty maintaining water levels here in the village due to the lack of rainfall. Please be advised that they are asking the residents of the village to voluntarily conserve water as much as possible. We are asking the residents not to water their lawns, trees, shrubs. We ask that you do not wash down outside surfaces such as sidewalks, driveways, or walkways. You do not wash your automobiles, boats, or fill your swimming pool. You may use handheld water containers to water plants, gardens, flowers, etc. Watering is encouraged in the early morning and late nights when water demands are far less. Please be assured that we will keep all residents informed as we move throughout the summer months. We are in the process of testing a new well that will ease the burden on everyone. Now that new well, right now we use approximately 500,000 gallons per day. This well, approved, will add an additional 60,000 gallons per day for our usage. So it's a very productive well. It's the Fireman's Memorial Well. So on their recommendation, I'd like to make a motion, like to have someone make a motion to go on a voluntary water restriction until further notice, or you want to table it until the next meeting to see what happens between now and then.
Question. What you read didn't sound voluntary.
It is
You
more than voluntary, yes.
pretty
It
much
sounds
said
more,
do not water lawns. You have a lot of people with new lawns. Yeah, I mean, I understand the water situation, but what you read wasn't voluntary.
no, it's more or less, we need to do this. One thing that came up, I mean, what we could do is narrow it down to commercial property. You want to start with that?
I just, if you run through that again, what the thing that you read about washing cars, no washing cars, no watering lawns, no what else?
Trees, shrubs,
Trimming shrubs?
trees and shrubs.
Oh, watering trees and shrubs?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not voluntary, but if we need to do something, then we should be doing a water restriction. If that's what that is.
Isn't it voluntary if there's no fines attached to it? The one that he sent us previously, to me, was more strict. And there was fines that would be implemented if you didn't follow the water restrictions. He sent it at the July 6th work session.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay to hold on, let's see what happens with this well. Maybe it's going to be ahead of schedule. Our next meeting is August 3rd. They are calling for rain later on this week.
Yeah, it's not too far off.
I'd go along with that. Hold off until August 3rd.
Hold off until August 3rd? Okay.
It's already July 21st. You're not talking about that long.
Right. Okay, I'm good with that.
Everybody will go out and wash their car this weekend.
Everyone's going to go buy a boat and wash it. So we're going to have a nice marina here soon. Okay, camera donation. All right, so we're going to table 3C. Deputy Mayor Lang, would you want to get into the camera donation 3D?
Yeah, he was a very nice guy. Alan Markoff, president of New York Security. The camera he had, he says it's infrared. The camera that he wants to, cameras that he wants to donate. It's an infrared device. It could be monitored, or it could be, record. High definition.
Resolution?
High definition camera, high resolution camera. again, infrared. And he said once we put up a pole, he could determine whether we would need 2 or 3 cameras. It's probably, it could be up to like a $30,000 donation in cameras. So and it would certainly prevent something, I think, in the future around that area. And then, you know, I mean, we're going to have the all-inclusive playground. I don't know, might want to even cover part of that with those cameras once that gets up and going. So we don't have, to prevent some vandalism to that also. If
Right.
So if we had 3 cameras, I'm sure it could cover he says it covers quite an extensive area. He wasn't specific with the range of it, but he said, as it is, he says you could probably do it too. He said, but once we put the pole up, we can see where the cameras would be placed. Nice man. Nice man. Appreciate it. And thanks Colin for his help in securing it.
Yes. So we can never have something like what did happen at any of our parks happen again. All right, so we have to, well, as we move forward. So we need a motion to accept the camera donation, and it's our understanding that all electric work will be performed by Anytime Electric and the electrical union. I believe number 3, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not costing the village at all, okay, which is very exciting. Just to further go on with Fireman's Memorial, not only is the inclusive playground going to happen in that area, but also there's plans for a post 9/11 monument.
Yep.
Which will have the names of the people who have passed away since 9/11 that were involved in 9/11. So a lot of things are happening down there.
How are we
plan to happen?
How are we handling the donations that are coming in for the memorial? I know we haven't really accepted any, but we have a lot of promises and a lot of phone numbers.
Yeah, we have a lot of promises nationwide.
And that's
okay,
what I'm saying.
Coming in and talking with Will Frank, the village can handle, or the village should not be involved in any of the donations. So I've been in contact with John Sulker of the Firemen's Memorial, who will handle all of the donations that come in. One of the things that we're looking at is replacing the flagpole, which has been ordered. I believe it's a 35-foot flagpole. It's coming from the same company up in New Hampshire, and that's going to be donated by the same person who donated it 20 years ago, Brian from Premier Fence. But we also need to do some groundwork with all the bricks in the Maltese Cross, because there has been a lot of, it's 20 years old, so there's been a lot of settling that has been going on. So they're looking at people to come in to do that, to bring that up. And it is, like we said before, July 21st, all of this has to be completed by the first week in September. So we're ready for the memorial service on 9/11. So that's as far as the donations are. So whatever we get, we're just passing on to their fund. All right, so the village is not handling any of this money whatsoever. I do know that there was a donation. Chief Zaccaro has been in contact with a business owner, I believe in Montgomery, who's donated $500 both to the fire department and $500 to the police department for the memorial. So we need to make any questions, concerns?
No.
to make a motion to accept the donation from New York Security Systems.
That motion.
Deputy Mayor Lang makes the motion. Second,
I'll second. You can let me
roll call, trustee Calor,
Yes.
trustee Lodato,
Yes.
trustee Sampson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang.
Yes.
Mayor Bucko. Okay. Very good. Moving on to 3E. Along the same lines as what we're doing at Memorial Park, we need to look at the other parks that we have. Woodfield, Vern Allen, McLaughlin Square, and eventually Sewell Park. Putting cameras in those parks. All right, and in the center of the village, which Chief Zaccaro would be a person, the go-to person for definitely the center of the village, and the village board looking at all the other parks. But we have the dog park, which is down an alleyway. All right. Again, not so much for the destruction, but but for the safety of anyone who's using our parks. Okay. We need to protect the residents and who's ever using them, like I said. So we're going to solicit bids from the various contractors, starting really with New York Security. We did have one from a company that Motorola has purchased. I did meet with them at Memorial Park, but he will be given the other layouts of the other parks. So I'd like to get at least four bids. You know, it's something that we did several years ago, and then we dropped the ball on it. So I'll take the hit on that. But and also the security, not only for the parks, but we need to have security for our wells, our public water systems. We also need to have security down at the wastewater treatment plant. All right, so something that we need to tie everything in together. So I guess that's our major project this year, is getting cameras where we need them. All right. 3F resolution approval. Trustee Lodato.
F and G, I received 2 facility requests from Forever Fit with Gammy, and then a new one from Janine Therese for yoga, both at Vern Allen Park. Gammy was very flexible. She wanted to do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 o'clock in the morning, a boot camp. But Janine wants to do hers on Fridays only. So Gammy was flexible with, you know, dropping the Friday or maybe picking up another day. My only thing I wanted to mention is that, and that's why I went forward with the calendar, and these dates that they both chose just conflict with each other, nothing else that's already on the calendar reserved for Vern Allen Park. But my thing was I look at Chris Martino's work schedules for the week, and I noticed DPW does the lawns at the parks Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, of course, if it rains, that gets pushed to the end of the week, I'm sure, just like when we do it at home. So I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could say to them is if you all approve the dates that they've chosen, if the guys are there, you know, cutting the grass, I guess they move, or they, not meaning DPW, but whoever's holding the class moves or just doesn't have the class that day. I really don't know how to, you know, work that out.
What time do they want to start in the morning?
One at Gammy's at 8 o'clock in the morning for the boot camp, and Janine's is 8:30 to 10:30 on Fridays, July, both, and all their dates are in July and August only so far.
Are they flexible if it did rain and the DPW needed to, you know, because I really don't, I think their schedule gets broken up enough.
Sure. No, I agree. And that, I mean, that's all I can do is say, you know, you're welcome to use the park, but here's the predicament, and that they would have to be willing to be flexible around that, you know? If it rains Tuesday and they're doing the lawns on Friday
Right.
and they show up to do their class and they're cutting the lawn, I could recommend they could go on the rink. But I notice anytime I recommend that, nobody wants to exercise on the rink. Maybe the ground is too hard. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't go. Paul, you feel the same way.
Totally.
Yeah. When they mention the rink, I get turned off on exercising. Really just have to play it by ear, but I would go ahead with saying yes, and play it by ear.
Yeah, I'll just explain to them the
Yeah.
predicament and see what,
I mean, I think they'll have plenty of time to say yes or plenty of time to say no because
Right.
schedules have changed.
Yeah. And I'll send the calendars to Chris so that he's aware of what's going on, but I'll let him know. I don't expect DPW to work around, exercise classes.
Could get kind of interesting. They get covered with grass. I don't know.
It's uncomfortable. I don't know.
No, it's not very comfortable. So I'm okay. Make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
You want to put the two together, F and G, correct? I think we could.
I mean, if it's okay.
Yeah.
With the understanding that Valerie explains to him about any conflicts.
Yes.
I definitely would. Absolutely. In fact, I already spoke to Gammy about it. I just need to talk to Janine.
Okay, so Valerie made the motion. Need a second?
A second.
Okay, roll call. Trustee Lodato.
Yes.
Trustee Sampson.
Yes.
Trustee Kalor.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lang. Mayor Bucko. Yes. Okay, so we're good.
Valerie, that calendar that you did up was nice. Is that, can we download that or?
Yeah, it's a PDF. You can just view it on your phone or print it out. It's up to you. I just don't recommend printing out too many months because it goes through I did a school year calendar. So if you print out too many and things change, I'll add things as events come up. But I just put events on there that I knew through the end of the year.
It's not, well, if we download it, it's not going to when you add event, it's not going to update it.
No, I'm not that good, Paul.
No, I know. But the Google Calendar wasn't bad. I did, I got the Google Calendar on the phone. Just a way to use it.
Yeah, Rich didn't like the Google Calendar.
Oh, no, don't blame me. I love Google.
And then it was Larissa. It was one of those two. Who did?
I love Google Calendar.
Yourself in a corner.
Yeah, so it could have been me. But the calendars that you did they're beautiful. So they stand out a lot more than Google does. So I think you have something there.
Well, thanks. And hopefully I'm going to send it to the police department and DPW so that hopefully they get use out of it and see things in advance and don't wait for me to tell them things last minute,
Right.
like I'm famous for. So
If we could also send it to the fire department as well as the ambulance corps.
absolutely, I can do that. Sure.
So everyone knows what's going on.
You got it. To Chief Hearn?
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to say, well, it's Chief Hearn, I think, to the end of the year, right, Rich?
Yes, correct.
And at the ambulance corps, is it Brian Bates?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll be the new chief next year coming in. Is he holding both positions, Rich, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Any public comment? Anybody in the wings?
No one is in the waiting room.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Let me unmute everyone. How's that? Let me ask to unmute Jean's iPad in case they have anything. And who else? Ask to unmute.
Is the planning board definitely meeting on Thursday?
Yes. And I did talk to Will, the conversation with, Paul, that you and I had about that lot line change. It's a planning board decision. It's not a village board decision.
All right. And are they meeting at the village hall?
I think it's going to be Zoom, if I'm not mistaken. I'll find out tomorrow. And if we need a Zoom setup, Louisa, if you could.
Absolutely. All right. So Jean's iPad, I'm clicking ask to unmute, but if you have a question, can you put it in the chat or unmute yourself and you can put it in yourself or click yes or no
Or raise your hand?
or raise your hand. Paul, you put your hand down. And you can raise your hand by clicking on the bottom right-hand corner more if you open up the participants.
Where it says raise your hand.
Yeah. All right. Let's give another minute. So you click on participants and then you'll get a window that pops up and then you click on more and then you'll see the hand. Okay. I'm guessing no. Pauline, you raised your hand.
Just testing it out.
All right. All right. I don't see any movement or action.
Has anyone heard from,
No.
No, not in years.
And the mind went blank.
yep. Just erased.
Sounds like,
Let's play Jeopardy. Oh, wait.
Wow,
Fair.
no, we don't do that.
that's bad.
All right. I guess we're good. I don't see any hands up and there's no one in the waiting room.
Okay.
Auction going once, going twice.
All right. Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a good
You
night.
too.